Please take a minute and do the attendance for hour one. Please sign your attendance in for hour one. Please sign your attendance in for hour one. All right, everyone should have done the attendance by now for hour one. I hope everyone had a good weekend. What we're gonna do first this week is we'll go back and we're gonna start writing sentences again. And as you know, the homework for last week was to watch the documentary What is a Woman? And then write 2 sentences describing how you felt about the documentary. So what I want everyone to do now is I want everyone to in the chat box write one of their sentences. Just write one sentence first. Just write one of your sentences. Make sure you have capital letters where they need to be. First word should be capitalized. Should end with a in punctuation. Okay, should have complete thoughts. So in your chat box, please type in one of your sentences from the homework. Everyone write your sentences, please. Only have 2 sentences so far. Just write one of your sentences. Everyone should just write one sentence. One sentence only. All right, come on now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 sentences so far. You should have at least 10 sentences up. Only have 4 sentences up. You should have at least 10. All right, looks like we're only gonna have 4 sentences. I guess that only means 4 people watched the video. Let's look at Jude Ali sentence. The woman represents the mother, sister, wife, and aunt, and kindness to them is important as Islamic religion. All right, Jude Ali, we have to look at what is the main idea of your sentence. You said the woman represents the mother, sister, wife, and aunt, and kindness. Who is them? So if you look at Jude Ali's sentence, she has them, but them is not referring, there's no antecedent. There's nothing referring to them. So we don't know who them is. So when you're writing, we never assume that the reader knows what you're talking about. So we need to know who them is. Also, what is the main idea of your sentence? All right, that should be written one clause at a time. All right, and it should be coherent. So the woman represents the mother, sister, wife, and aunt in kindness. All right, so we got a little imbalance here. You got 4 examples of people: mother, sister, wife, and aunt. Okay, but then you have kindness. Well, kindness is not a person, so we wouldn't want to put kindness in the same clause as mother, sister, wife, and aunt. So here in this case, Jude Ali, you would want to separate your clauses, separate your ideas. Okay, because kindness is not a person. All right. So when you add kindness and then the second, then you got a transition, a preposition here. To them is important. Who's them? All right. So this sentence is not very coherent. It's not very understandable because you're trying to mix several ideas into one. I see three ideas that you're trying to represent, mix into one sentence. And here would be a great example of maybe a compound sentence, I believe, that you might want to write. But right now, the sentence that you have right here is not very coherent. The reader would have a tough time understanding what you exactly mean. Remember, when you write, you do not want your reader to guess what you're saying. You should be coherent. You should be clear. Okay. Remember, we need coherence and cohesion, what we talked about in the first week. So we need, if you can rewrite that sentence, separate your ideas or make it and try to make it a compound sentence, or you can create several simple sentences. But right now, that sentence is not very coherent. We can't really gain a clear meaning and definition from that sentence. Let's look at Regda. She says, I feel discontent that all the things we know is changing. Right. So we have some issues with this sentence. Here we had a sentence structure issue. All right. And you have that you creating a relative clause that all we know, right? So we got an issue here. So if you want to create a compound sentences starting with this relative clause, that relative pronoun rather, that means we first, if we remember from when we talked about relative clauses, we had that long conversation about relative clauses last week. We said that, anybody remember what we said about commas and that? If you look in your notes, what did we say about commas and that? Anybody remember? Your mic is your mic track. I can't hear you talking because your mic is on mute. Yeah. Were you trying to say something?
No, but no.
All right. Anybody remember what we said about commas and the word that? Does anyone remember? No one remembers? No one can look in their notes and see what we said about commas and the word that? Yeah, Rector.
Before that, we should put a comma.
You should put a comma?
Yes, when we use which, we shouldn't put comma.
No, no, you got it mixed up. That should never have a comma in front of it. Never, ever, ever. Which should have a comma in front of it. So you mixed it up. So when you're writing the word that, there should never be a comma. Why? Because that is a restrictive, it's a restrictive relative pronoun, or it introduces a restrictive clause, relative clause. Meaning all that means it introduces a clause that's necessary to the sentence. All right. Now let's look at that. I feel discontent. I think that is not the word you want there. I think you want to make this, I think what you want there, Rector, is because. Because is probably the more appropriate word. I feel discontent because all the things we know, and then you have is changing. In that clause, all the things we know, it should be what? Can anybody tell me? Can anybody help Rector out? All the things we know. What is the subject? If we change, if we make it because. Are. Because what's the subject? If we change that to because, what would be the subject of that clause? Anyone? Wake up, guys. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. If we change that to because, what would be the subject of that clause? For Rector's sentence. Everyone should be looking at the chat. No one knows the subject of I feel content because all of the things we know are changing. What is the subject of that second clause? That dependent clause? No one? Wouldn't the subject be things? Things? All the things we know is changing. Is changing. So things are changing. Because things is plural. So we need a plural verb. All right. So the regular, the sentence could be corrected by saying, I feel discontent because all the things we know are changing. You have that, Rector?
Yes.
So remember, I don't want you guys writing like the way you speak. Okay, don't write the way you speak. Okay. So because it's a better word to have there. So instead of having the relative pronoun that, it's better to have the subjunctive conjunction because. I feel discontent because all of the things we know are changing. Make sure you watch out for your subject verb agreement. Let's go to Shahad's sentence. The idea don't have a straight answer. Excuse me. They don't have a straight answer. Just the idea that you can be a woman without the consequences and is really going to be normal woman. All right. So Shahad, you have a lot of ideas going on here. So it's important that you use good sentence structure. Okay. Remember, I said before, you want to keep, it's always better to keep your ideas short or have at least one simple subject, one simple verb. Okay. So here we got a lot of ideas going on. They don't have a straight answer, just the idea that you can be a woman, all right, without the consequences. I want everybody to write this down in their notebooks. In academic writing, I want you to avoid using the word you, Y-O-U. I want you to avoid using the word you. Okay. Because you can take away your academic voice. Right? We have a habit of saying you will do this and you can do that. And if you diet, you don't need to say you. When you're writing, you're writing for your reader, but you're not speaking to your reader. Okay. So don't say you because you're not speaking to them. You're writing for them. So you avoid using you or trying to personalize the reader. Just give them the information. Lebna, you understand that? Lebna or Lubna,
Yes, yes.
you understand what I just said?
Mm. Not all. You're a veteran teacher.
I'm sorry.
You talk about what you take last class.
No, I'm talking about what I just said just now. Do you understand what I said?
Yes,
What did I just say?
but not all, teacher.
Okay,
I
so you
understand
didn't.
that all that.
I want you to get your notebook. You have your notebook out?
What is it?
You have your notebook with you?
Yes, I write.
Okay, so write this down. When you're writing academic, everyone write this down. When you're writing academically, I want you to avoid using the word you. Because when you're writing, you're not talking to your reader, you're writing for your reader. So you're not having a conversation with your reader. So you don't have to use the word you. If you diet, you will lose weight. No, dieting has the advantage of weight loss. Okay.
Teacher, I have a question.
Yes.
What's the meaning? It's changed when we add subject, when we take the word and ing or like this. You smoking, it's not good. But I think it's more clear or not more clear. We have some difference when we do like this. If you smoking or you smoking, and
No.
when we write smoking is bad.
So again, listen to me. All right. I want you to listen to you. Are you listening?
Yes.
Don't use you. Don't say if you stop smoking, you would have better health. That's not good writing. You understand?
Yes.
All right.
But
I don't care.
sometimes it's difficult.
That's what we
Without
got to learn.
you,
That's why we're learning. We're learning so you can write the proper way. All right. I want you to always remember, I don't care what anyone tells you. I'm telling you the right thing, okay? Don't say you. Now, if you're actually speaking to someone, let's say you're writing a letter to someone and you're actually speaking to them or you're texting them, then you say you because you're actually talking to someone. However, if you're writing a general paper, you do not say you. If you smoke, if you stop smoking, you will have good health. Okay. In academic writing, that's not good. Now, if I'm talking to you and I say, hey, look, if you study, you will get good grades. Okay, I'm talking to you. However, if I'm writing a general statement, a declarative statement, then I need to say studying will assist students in obtaining good grades or passing grades. You see the difference?
future, but it's okay when you said not you, but we. If we stop smoking, or it's the
Okay,
same.
it's the same. In fact,
Uh,
in academic writing, I said this last week, in academic writing, I want everyone to do your best to avoid personal pronouns. I, we, you, okay? Avoid those. I, we, you, avoid them like the plague. Now, sometimes in academic writing, sometimes it's okay when you're writing something like a reflection. It's okay to say, I experienced this because you got no other choice. Okay. But short of when you're doing a reflection paper, I want you to avoid personal pronouns. I, me, you know, this is this makes me happy. No. Now, if you're if you're writing a letter to your friend or someone you know, and it's a personal letter, that's different. I'm talking about academic writing. You understand that, Trad?
Yes, yes,
Jude Ali, you understand that?
Yes.
Jada, you understand that?
Yes.
Muhammad, you understand what I'm saying?
yes.
Now, there are going to be some teachers that allow you to get away with that. Even in the university, they're going to allow you to get away with it. But I'm telling you, if you want to be a good writer, writing at the university level, then you don't do that. That's okay for high school or middle school. It's not even okay for high school, for middle school, but it's not okay for university. I want the best for everyone here. Sir,
Right.
I want the best for everyone, right? So I want you guys to begin, because if you're going to be doctors and engineers and lawyers, I want you to be professional. I don't want you to sound like a high school student or a middle school student. Okay? I want you to write and people will see what you write and say, wow, this is a professional writer. This person has been trained well. This person has studied well. I don't want people saying, oh, they're Saudi, so it's okay. They're just Saudi. No, we're not doing this. I want you to write and people say, wow, their writing they have a very strong writing. They have they're very cogent. Their writing is very coherent. They have a strong academic voice. Okay. So some of the things that I'll tell you, some of your teachers might let slide because they're like, oh, okay, it's fine. It's okay. No, I want the best for you. Okay. So Shahad, what we need to do with your sentence, Shahad, is we need to break down those ideas, right? Make them coherent. One clause, remember guys, ladies and gentlemen, one clause at a time. One clause at a time, one idea. What's an idea, Jada?
We can't write pronouns in academic writing.
No, actually, what's an idea?
What
What's an
idea?
What's any idea? What's an idea?
About what?
About anything. What is an idea?
I don't know.
You know what an idea is.
Yes,
It's a thought, right? It's a thought that you can have, right?
yes, in my mind.
Yeah, it's a thought in your mind. Exactly. So Omar, how many ideas do we have? How many types, excuse me, I'm sorry. How many types of ideas are there? How many types of ideas are there? Last week, we talked about this last week.
Last week.
How many ideas,
Uh,
how many types of ideas are there?
I think 3.
No, not 3. Think about the sentences, the clauses. How many different types of clauses can you have?
2.
So that means it's 2 ideas, right?
Yeah.
Because clauses are ideas. You can either have a complete idea or an incomplete idea, right? We call
Right.
those dependent clauses or independent clauses, right? Dependent clauses are incomplete ideas. Independent clauses are complete ideas, right? So when you write, each clause should serve a purpose. Now, incomplete ideas serve the purpose of supporting a complete idea, and that's how we form a complex sentence. If you have two independent clauses together, joined with a conjunction, what do you have, Jude Ali? Two independent clauses joined together with a conjunction. What do you have? Anyone, tell me. I'm-
Independent clause and dependent clause.
Yeah, you have two independent clauses joined together with a conjunction. What do you have? Joined together with a coordinating conjunction. What do you have?
Fanboy.
No. What do you have if you have two independent clauses joined together with a conjunction? I'm gonna put all of you over my knee. I'm gonna come to everyone's house and I'm gonna give everyone a spanking. I'm giving everyone a spanking. I'm coming to your house. I'm gonna give you a spanking, every last one of you. Somebody tell me what you have if you have two independent clauses with a coordinated conjunction. What do you have? Look in your notes from last week and the week before last. No one remembers?
Please repeat the question.
If you have two independent clauses joined together with a coordinating conjunction, what do you have? I'm gonna spank all of you. I'm gonna give all of you a
Teacher,
spanking. Yes,
do you mean fanboys?
that's a coordinated conjunction, but what do you have when you join two independent clauses together with a conjunction, with a coordinating conjunction?
Compound sentence.
Thank you, Shahad. Thank you, thank you, thank
Right,
you.
Complex.
No, not complex, compound.
Yeah,
Compound.
complex.
Compound, not complex, compound. You have a compound sentence. What do you have? What type of conjunction makes a complete idea incomplete? What type of conjunction makes a complete idea incomplete? Go ahead, Rector.
Subordinator.
Who?
Subordinator, I think.
Subordinator, subordinator, subordinator. The subordinating conjunction, right? So I want you to, it's important that you guys remember these sentence structures, all right? If you just have subject verb, that's a clause, that's an independent clause or a sentence, subject verb. The cat ran, right? What type of sentence is the cat ran?
Subject verb.
Yeah, but what type of sentence is it?
Independent clause.
Yeah, and what type of independent clause?
Complete idea.
Yeah, so what type? The cat ran. You guys must have been partying hard this weekend. Party, you can't remember anything. Don't you have a simple sentence? Isn't there a simple sentence? right? The cat ran. That's simple, right? Simple subject, simple verb. The cat ran. What about the cat ran down the street? What type of sentence is that? Anyone? The cat ran down the street. Ooh. I'm gonna find everybody and give them a spanking. Jada, the cat ran down the street. What type of sentence is that?
Dependent, maybe.
It is independent, but what type of sentence is it?
Complex.
No. The cat ran down the street. Mazan, what type of sentence? You thought you was gonna hide from me? What type, Lubna, what type of sentence is that? The cat ran down the street.
I'm not sure, but
I
I
need-
think it's simple sentence.
It's a simple sentence. It's a simple
correct?
sentence. Yes, it's a simple sentence. The cat ran down the street is a simple sentence. Down the street is just a prepositional phrase. Remember the first week we said we can add prepositional phrases to simple sentences and they're still simple. So the cat ran is a simple sentence. The cat ran down the street is a simple sentence. Okay. What about if the cat ran down the street, I will have to go get it. If the cat ran down the street, I would have to go get it. What type of sentence is that? Rector?
Complex.
Complex. Why is that a complex sentence?
One independent clause and the other dependent clause.
There you go. There you go. What about this sentence? The cat ran down the street, but she ran back up. Anyone else except Rector? The cat ran down the street, but she ran back up. All right, Rector.
Compound.
Compound. Why is it compound?
Because all of them independent clause and there is a coordinator conjunction.
There you go. There you go. Now you guys are waking up. Now you guys are waking up. All right. So the point of that exercise is you got to remember that when you're writing, we call that sentence structure. So you got to remember your sentence structure. So take this down in your notes. Everybody write this down in your notes. Sentence structure. Okay. Write this down in your notes. Sentence structure, right? Sentence structure. Everyone have sentence structure down? Do you? You have that down in your notebooks? Do you have that in your notebooks? Can you hear me?
Yeah, teacher.
It's a sentence structure. Remember, in a sentence is made up of clauses. You have two types of clauses. You have independent and you have dependent. Dependent are incomplete thoughts. Independent are complete thoughts. A clause is an idea or a thought. All right. So you have clauses and idea of thought. So all sentences are made up of clauses. Every sentence must have at least one independent clause, at least one independent clause. What's going on? Every sentence must have at least one independent clause. My phone is bugging out, man. Okay. Every sentence must have at least one independent clause, at least one. Okay. You also have phrases. Phrases are not thoughts. We don't consider phrases thoughts. Phrases are modifiers. And we said last week, all they do is give more information. Right? You know you have a phrase when there's no subject verb, especially no verb. Right? So no verb, you have a phrase. Clauses must have subjects and verbs. All clauses, whether it's independent or dependent, must have subject and verbs. Okay. Phrases, there are no verbs, there's no subject and verb. Okay. So there are four types. So when you're writing a sentence, you got to keep these things in mind, among other things. But keep these basic concepts in mind. A simple sentence has a subject verb. All right. It has a subject verb structure. The cat ran. Remember this from last week. It can even have a subject verb structure. The cat and the dog ran. All right. It can have a subject verb structure. The cat ran and ate cat food. The cat ran and ate cat food. It can even have a subject verb structure. The cat and the dog ate and the cat and the dog ran and ate dog food. Okay, so that's a simple sentence. It can have these structures. Again, subject verb, the cat ran. Subject verb, the cat and the dog ran. Subject verb, the cat ran and ate cat food. Subject verb, the cat and the dog ran and ate dog food. Any questions about that? All right, I'm not gonna move away from this because we can't move forward unless you understand that this basic structure. Now, from a simple sentence, you can create a compound sentence. A compound sentence has the sentence structure of subject, verb, conjunction, subject, verb. Should be a coordinated conjunction. Right? Or it could take on any of these forms, actually. So it could be CV, SV, SSV, SVV, SSVV, conjunction, SV. Okay, it could take on any of these configurations. But you got that you're gonna have your coordinated conjunction, and then you're gonna have another independent clause. So basically, a compound sentence is an independent clause defined by one of these structures here. So SV, SSV, SVV, SSVV, these all make independent clauses. Subject, verb, subject, subject, verb, subject, verb, verb, subject, subject, verb, verb. They all make independent clauses. To have a compound sentence, you need to have an independent clause, independent clause, conjunction, independent clause. Okay. Okay. So that's what a compound sentence makes. It's two independent clauses joined together with a conjunction. The conjunction are always coordinating. This thing keeps on moving. The conjunction is always coordinating, and we use, oh, come on, stop it now. We use fanboys. Then you have a complex sentence. Why is it doing that? Then you have a complex sentence. Complex sentence, if we remember from last week, can be made two different ways. It could be an independent clause with a subordinating conjunction joined together with a dependent clause. So all of these subordinating conjunction makes it independent or dependent. Or it could be a dependent clause joined together with an independent, stop it, an independent conjunction. Okay. All right. You can even have another sentence type called a compound complex sentence. And all that is the same. Oh, come on now. Why is it doing this? It's the same configuration. It's just a compound sentence with a complex. So compound sentence would be something like, if the dog barks, we will have to give him a bath and put in we will put him in his cage. All right, that's an example of a compound complex sentence. Notice you got the dependent clause, and then you have two independent clauses. All right. So you guys gotta understand that concept if you want to be good writers. Basically, in order to be a good writer, you just gotta understand that there are 4 different types of sentence structures. All right. Simple sentences, you try to write the most. After simple sentences, then you're probably going to have a good amount of complex sentence. So this is second. After that, third, we don't normally write a lot of compound sentence, but third. And then we normally we don't write a lot of compound complex. So this will be 4. All right, but master writing the simple sentence. All right, because the simple sentence is often the hardest sentence to write. All right, because sometimes it's hard to organize your thought into one idea, to separate ideas. Okay. All right. So let's run down the list again. I want everybody to look at that chart. Shahad,
Yes.
how many ideas does a compound sentence have? How many ideas does a compound sentence have?
2.
2 ideas, yes. Omar, how many ideas does a simple sentence have?
4.
Simple sentence. How many ideas does a simple sentence have?
2.
No, simple. Someone help him out. How many ideas does a simple sentence have? Can someone help him? Jada, help him out.
1.
One idea. One simple subject, one simple verb. Okay. When I say one simple verb, meaning any one of those configurations, subject, verb, subject, subject, verb, subject, verb, verb, subject, subject, verb, verb. Any of those configurations. Okay. But Muhammad, what is unique about the complex sentence?
I don't know.
Think, look at all of those. Look at the 4 different types of sentence structures. What is unique about the complex sentence? Doesn't a complex sentence have a dependent clause? Muhammad?
Yes, I don't know.
Yeah. Doesn't the complex sentence have a dependent clause?
I didn't understand
What part don't you understand?
your question.
Yeah. So okay, let's say it this way. What is a complex sentence made of? How do you write a complex sentence? What do you need?
Sorry, I don't know.
Can someone help Muhammad? What do you need to write a complex sentence?
Dependent and independent clause.
You just need a dependent and an independent clause. All right. Can the dependent clause come first?
Yes.
If the dependent clause comes first, what do you need?
A comma.
Right, after the dependent clause, right, very good. All right. So Mohammed, when you write a complex sentence, you need a dependent clause and an independent clause. The dependent clause can come first or second. If the dependent clause comes first, you need a comma after it. If the independent clause comes first, you don't need a comma. Okay, we talked about this last week. All right. All right, let's look at, so Shahad, I think you understand what I'm saying. Break your sentence down into clauses. Figure out if you want to make it a compound sentence, a complex sentence, or just a simple sentence. And have a series of simple sentences. It's up to you. Okay,
Okay,
Shahad.
teacher, thank you.
Drew Bagash says, women are half of society. And the messenger, may God bless him and grant him peace, recommended her. Again, we have two ideas mixing up. So Jude Bagash, we want to, here would be, what you wrote here would be a perfect series of simple sentences. So women are half of society. Therefore, ... Okay. And then you can go on to your other thought. God, I think you're trying to say God put women on the earth or on the planet for a reason, for a purpose. I think you're trying to say, I know you can't speak right now, but I think that's what you're trying to say. So separate your ideas. Let's look at Omar's sentence. I think it is a strange documentary. There are many things that are contrary to human instinct. All right. So what Omar wrote there is actually good and demonstrates what I've been attempting to explain. Omar, tell me, what do you need in your two sentences there? What's the only problem with your sentence there?
I
You
don't
need a
know.
what? Look at it. You forgot to add your what?
The full stop.
Full stop. All right. Full stops
Yeah.
are very important. Always end sentence with the proper punctuation, right?
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
Sorry.
Lubna, what I felt the most while watching the video was to thank God for the blessing of a sound mind. And a person should always pray to God for that because thoughts build beliefs. And if thoughts are wrong, we have wrong habits and beliefs. All right, so you got a long sentence there. So what I would say, Lubna, is shorten we try to avoid writing long sentences. So shorten it up, okay? And we probably could do that by saying, by taking some words out and being concise. Okay, we could probably take some words out and be concise. So you could say something like, I think God, this video has allowed me to realize, or I'm thankful. This video makes me appreciate my sound mind, or this video makes me appreciate the sound mind that I have. Okay, something like this. Contents of this video allows me to appreciate the sound mind that I have. Okay. So, my only advice to you, Lubna, would be to separate your ideas, make it a shorter sentence. Remember, you want to be cogent and concise. Use the least amount of words possible. Shahad says, I didn't watch the full one, only watched 5 minutes, then asked to enter a link, then they asked for an email. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. It should have played through, straight through YouTube. It should have played straight through. Yeah, this should, let's see. Trad says, "What is?" I think I just explained that. I think I gave you the answer to that. Trad. Trad SV is subject verb. Okay. All right. So what we? No, I'm just saying the answer to your statement here is subject verb. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back and we're gonna spend after the next break. I want to hear you. I want to hear you guys talk to each other about the video. Okay, so I want to get some speaking in. So let's take a 15-minute break. We'll come back in 15 minutes at 2:30. 2:30, make sure you do your attendance for hour 2. Take a 15-minute break. We'll come back at 2:30. When we come back, we're going to talk about the video and you guys are going to talk to each other. Take a 15-minute break. All right. All right. Make sure that you complete the attendance from out for hour 2. Make sure you complete the attendance for hour 2. All right, what I want to do now is hopefully most of you watch the video. Who did not watch the video? Except Shahad. Shahad only watched 5 minutes. Who else didn't watch the video?
Me too. 5 minutes.
Who's me too? Who said that?
Aida.
All right. Anyone else did not watch the entire video?
Me, teacher.
All right. So one of the important things to do when one important thing to do is always do follow the instructions of your teacher in university. It's always important. All right, whether you think it's important or not, you should always do the assignments. You guys had more than enough time to watch that assignment. Watch. So just when you get to university, make sure you do everything that's on the syllabus and follow all your instructors and all your instructors' assignments. Okay. All right. That's not good protocol and good that's not a good way to engage your classes by not doing the assignments. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna ask you a question Regda. Let's start with Regda.
Yes.
What was there anything frustrating about that documentary?
I didn't hear you. Sorry.
Was there anything frustrating about the documentary that you watched?
Uh, bothers me. Bothers me. Do you mean?
The documentary, yeah, What is a Woman? Was there anything frustrating about that documentary?
Yes, a lot.
Okay, give me one thing that was frustrating about that documentary.
That no one answered what is the woman.
That no one was able to define it,
Yes.
right?
And sorry.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
No, I don't have. Thank you.
That no one was able to define it. Why is that question important, given this context? Why is that question important? Let's see. Why is that question important, Trad? Why is that question important? Are you there, Trad? Are you there, Trad? All right. Why is that question important, Muhammad? Why is the question, what is a woman, important? Why is that question important? Muhammad, why is that question important? Omar, why is that question important?
The question is what is the woman? You mean?
Why is that question so important? Why is the host asking that question? Why is that question relevant?
Uh, I don't know.
You watched the documentary?
Not all that documentary. The half.
Okay. Let me say something, guys. I'm gonna say this again. I know I just said it 3 minutes ago, but when you get this, you're in university now, okay? It's important if you guys want to be successful in any university that you're in, you got to do the assignments that are given to you by the instructor. Okay, it's extremely important. Not to watch half, not to watch 5 minutes, not to watch 10 minutes, not to watch 45% or 90%. You gotta make sure you do the assignments because normally the assignment's going to be linked to something else. All right. Now, watching that documentary was a good opportunity to really learn and understand English because it's a very basic question that's being asked. All right. So it's a great way to build your ability to think within English, within the English language. Okay. And be able to follow what's going on. So when you don't take advantage of that, then basically you're wasting your time and your money because you guys spent money to do this. All right. You cannot learn English magically. All right. You can't learn English magically. You will not improve your English magically. You have to put time in. Just like many of you are not doing the read theories. All right. So if you want to learn a language, you can't think that just logging on to this call for 3 hours a day is going to teach you the language. It doesn't work like that. This call is only to support and have and to be organized and allow you to ask me questions and me give you some information that will help support you in your pursuit of learning the language. Okay, but you don't think that you're going to do well and speak well and be productive just by logging in on this call. You have to spend time outside of this call a lot if you want to really engage the language and, more importantly, understand what's going on so you can improve your comprehension. So you can go off and do other things that will make you successful in your studies. All right. So please, people, we got one more week. We got this week and next week, I believe. So please, if I give you something to do, please do it to the fullest so you can take advantage of the opportunity, the learning opportunity to the max. All right. Who raise your hand if you saw the whole video, the whole documentary? So Regda, Mazan. So just Regda and Mazan watched the entire documentary. All right. All right. Well, we can't talk about the documentary if you didn't watch it. That's unfortunate because, again, that this could have been a great opportunity for us to have conversation and have some speaking. So you can.
Dr. Ray, excuse me. The documentary in the YouTube not complete. There's just 5 minutes.
Yeah, I put another link. I put another link up. I was able to watch the whole thing on both links. I don't know about why some of you guys weren't able to watch it, but I put another link up. You should have been able to watch the entire documentary. All right, so let's move on. Again, next time, let's please do the assignments, because these assignments are always going to be linked to something that we're going to do in the classroom when we meet virtually. All right. Let's go back and do some more writing. I'm gonna put a picture up, and I'm gonna ask you to write a sentence, the same drill that we did last week. I'm gonna put a picture up, share it with you, and I'm gonna ask you to write a sentence. Now, when you write the sentence, please make sure that you have good mechanics, meaning you start with a capital letter, you end with the appropriate ending punctuation. You use the appropriate punctuation throughout, capitalized throughout, but more importantly, that you think about the clauses, the ideas that you're trying to communicate. Okay, think about the sentence structure needed to write that particular sentence. All right. So don't just rush. Just think about how you're going to explain what you are trying to communicate. All right. Pictures coming up in a second. All right. I want everyone to write a compound sentence about this picture. Write a compound sentence about this picture. Any observation you would like to make, put it in the chat box so we can review it. Think about the sentence structure of a compound sentence. Think about the sentence structure that you need to communicate a thought that you're trying to make. Think about clauses, the different types of clauses. What type of clauses do you need for a compound sentence? What is the sentence structure? What is the linking word? All right, Ragda says it is a robot and it is wearing a blue dress. All right, perfect sentence, Ragda. It is a robot and is wearing a blue dress. All right, Jada says in the future, we will have robot maid and robot waiter. All right, Jada, is that a compound sentence?
I think yes.
Where's your second clause?
Robot waiter.
Is that a clause?
I guess.
It is a clause? What do you need to make a clause?
Subject and verb.
Where's the verb at in the second clause?
Okay, I get it.
Jude Ali says, robots are very important in our lives, but we must be careful of them as they may break down. All right, actually, what you have here is not a compound sentence, Jude. You actually have a compound complex sentence as they break down. All right. And remember, Jude, you wouldn't need the comma in front of as, because as is a dependent clause. And when dependent clauses come first, you don't need a comma before them. So you can remove that comma in front of as they break down. Actually, just if you remove that whole dependent clause and just write robots are very important. Robots are, what if we, because you said in our future, robots are very important in our lives, comma, but we must be careful of them. Full stop. Okay, and we probably want to make that a little bit more that second clause a little bit more coherent. But we must be careful about them, or we must be careful in our use of them. Something like this. We must be careful in our use of them. As they break down, that's a dependent clause. Again, if you were writing a compound complex sentence, that would be okay. Just take that comma out in front of as. And then that second clause, but we must be careful. But we must be careful how we use them. Something like this. Omar says the robot is brown and the wall is white. Okay. Okay, that's good. Make sure you have your full stop. All right, no space before the comma. So that comma should be right on brown, no space. The robot is brown, comma, no space, and the wall is white. Other than that, that's good. All right, give me more sentences. Only have 1, 2, 3 sentences, 4 sentences. 4 sentences. Come on, come on, come on. More sentences, please. More sentences. Come on, come on, come on. Mazan, it is a robot, so it's important in our future life. It is a robot, so, and remember we use so to show cause and effect. It's a robot, it is a robot, so it's important in our lives, in our future life. I think the better conjunction would be and, Mazan. It is a robot and robots are important in our future lives. Okay. It is a robot, or the picture displays a robot, comma, and robots are important in our future life. Remember, I don't want to see you guys rely on pronouns a lot. Remember, that's how we started off today. Instead of using the pronoun first, say exactly what you are talking about. In this case, a robot. So the picture shows a robot, and robots are extremely important in our future, or robots will be. Okay, I don't want to see you guys relying on these personal pronouns. Name exactly. It is a robot made. So remember, we need the capital letter, begin our sentences with a capital letter. So capital I. All right. Also remember, we don't write in conjunctions in academic writing. Okay, it's not wrong, but for academic writing, we don't use conjunctions. It is a robot. Okay, but I want you to say the picture shows a robot made, comma, no space after. You see how that, everyone see how that, look at Mazan's space, a comma, after robot. Everybody see Mazan's comma after robot? Then everyone sees trad, comma, after made. Okay, so Mazan's comma is correct. That's how you should write it. All right, the comma should never be separated like that, like in Trad's example. All right. All right. So instead of saying it is a robot, this, remember in academic writing, we want to be very specific. Okay. The picture displays a robot, displays a robot. Okay. Or a robot is the subject of the picture, comma, and robots will be needed in the future, or only in the future, something like this. And they will not be to establish only in future. All right, so the second clause you have, and it will not to establish only in future. All right, Trad, make sure that you're coherent in your second clause. Make sure it's understandable. Okay. Also remember to put a full stop at the end of that sentence. Okay. Let's see who else. Jada, in the future, we will have robot maids. It will save lives and money. Now, all right, Jada, that's what we call a comma splice. All right, that's not we need a conjunction. We need a conjunction. That's a comma splice, Jada. Okay, comma splice is like a run-on sentence. The same as a run-on sentence. Okay. Same as a run-on sentence. Okay. So we want to always have a conjunction, Jada, after maid. So in the future, we will have robot maids. Remember we said last week, use the plural, don't use the singular. In the future, we will have robot maids. In the future, there will be robot maids. Remember, I said, try to avoid using the personal pronouns we, okay, when you can. And this is an opportunity, you can avoid using the personal pronoun. All right. In the future, there will be robot maids, comma. And these maids will save time, or these maids will make life more efficient. Right? So JD said it will save efforts and money. That's not coherent. So we want to say exactly what we mean. In the future, we will have robot maids, comma, and these robots will save time and make life more efficient. Or these robots will make life more efficient. Okay. Okay. Shahad, let's look at yours. Remember, no contractions. Ladies and gentlemen, please, you gotta follow the advice I'm giving you. I gave you these advice first or second week now. What I wanted, the reason why I'm asking you to write these sentences, so I want to see you use the advice and the instructions that I'm giving you. And I've said several times, no contractions in academic English. All right, no contractions. In academic English, we say exactly, we're clear, we're concise, and we say exactly what we mean, and we don't take any shortcuts. The only time we take a shortcut is by being concise and cogent, using the least amount of words necessary to describe what we're trying to describe. So it is the blue robot, and the blue robot takes care of cleaning. All right. So I think, again, I think you want to be a little bit more coherent and say the picture, or there is a blue robot in the picture, comma, and the robot is responsible for cleaning. There is a blue robot in the picture, comma, and the robot is responsible for cleaning. Okay. All right. I want you guys getting in the habit of saying exactly what you said mean. That means don't rely on pronouns and say exactly what you see. You use pronouns when you establish exactly what has been already, that what you're talking about. Then, once you well establish what you're talking about, then you can use a pronoun to represent it. Let's change the picture. Let's show you another picture. Let's try this picture. All right, I want everyone to write. I want everyone to write a. Let's write a complex sentence for this picture. Write a complex sentence. No. Let's write another compound sentence. Write another compound sentence for this picture. Write a compound sentence for this picture. All right. Take in mind everything I just told you about the comma, subject verb agreement, and I need everyone to participate in it. All right. I should have 12 sentences, so there's 12 people on the call. Okay. Please, everyone participate. I should have 12 sentences here. All right. Write a compound sentence about this picture, please. A compound sentence.
Teacher Ray,
Yes.
I can't see the screen. Can you please again share screen again?
Can you see it now?
No yet.
What about now?
Also no.
You see it now?
No.
Who else? Can everyone see that picture or just you?
I see the picture, teacher.
Try to refresh your screen, Jude.
Okay, I will go and come back.
Yeah, try to go and come back, maybe. All right. Omar says the boy is wearing white thobe and he is smiling. All right. One thing we need, Omar, what do we need to make that sentence perfect? Reread that sentence. What can we put there to make that sentence perfect?
Uh, change wearing.
No, the wearing is fine. Well, actually, we need two things. I'm sorry, I missed one. We need two things. If you remember, we said last week, if you have ing, what do you need with it?
Uh,
To be verb, right? So
oh
the
yeah.
boy is what? The boy is wearing.
Okay.
How many thobes is he wearing?
One.
So that means we need what in front of white thobe? When you have one,
A white top.
yes, there you go. The boy is wearing a white thobe. The boy is wearing a white thobe. Jada says, the boy wears a white thobe and blue shoes. Jada. Hold on 1 second. All right, Jada,
Yes.
the conjunction. I mean, excuse me. What's going on? We're writing a compound sentence, right? Are we writing a compound sentence?
Right.
All right, the second clause, is it a clause? Is that a clause?
The same mistake.
Yep. We need subject verb. Okay. Shahar says, the boy is wearing a white thobe and looks surprised. All right, Shahar,
Yes.
what's wrong with that second clause? What do we need for every clause? What do we need for every clause?
Subject, he looks surprised.
You need subject and verb for every clause.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you need, buddy? What do you need? What do you need? What do you need? Well, why was it making a noise? All right, guys, remember the sentence structure. Remember the structure, okay? Did you finish? Is it finished? I thought it doesn't need a new one. It's finished. So it's not gonna be noisy anymore. No more noise. No more. All right, guys, remember the sentence structure. Keep your sentence structure. Okay, remember your sentence structure. Trad says, or Omar says, the boy is wearing a white thobe and he is smiling. All right, that's good. Trad says the boy is all right. ING, you need a helping verb. ING, you need the helping verb. Okay. The boy is wearing a white thobe and he is being happy. All right, Trad, the boy is wearing a white thobe and he is happy. All right. You don't say being happier. It's just he is happy. The boy is wearing a white thobe and he is happy. Okay. The boy is wearing a white thobe and he is happy. Okay. Shahad says the boy is wearing a white thobe and he looks surprised. All right, Shahad, same thing as I said before. Watch your comma. All right. I want to say, I want everyone to listen to me. I want everyone to listen to me. All right, and listen clearly. And university, mechanics and formatting is extremely important. Formatting is extremely important. Okay. Formatting is extremely important. So you have to put the comma in the right places. Okay. This is university. Some of you, especially you guys who want to go and be a doctor, okay, lawyer, you're gonna be writing papers using certain formatting. All right. So get in the habit now of formatting your papers correctly. Get in the habit of now of formatting your papers correctly. Everything I'm telling you is for your future success because your teachers will take points off, all right? If your commas are not in the right place, if your punctuation is not in the right place, if you don't capitalize, if you don't follow the proper formatting, all right? That comma should never never be separated. It should be attached to a word, always, always. In this case, the comma should be attached to the word thobe. Okay. Trad, the boy is wearing a white thobe and he is happy. And he is happy. Trad, the boy is wearing a white thobe and he is happy. Not he is being a happier. No, and he is happy. So delete being a and put happy, Happy. The boy is happy. Mazan, capital letter. Start your sentence with a capital letter. His mother threw a party, so he is surprised. So yeah, that's the correct use of so. His mother threw a party, so he is surprised. So everything is correct here. Just capitalize the first letter of the sentence was on. Okay? You with me, Mazan?
Okay,
I'm going to be hard on you guys about this because this is what your teachers are going to be expecting and your professors going to expect. Okay? So I'd rather be hard on you now. So when it's time to have graded papers, graded assignments, you don't have problems. You don't take points off. So let's learn it now. Jude Ali says, the boy is smiling at the camera and wearing a white thobe. Jude Ali, what's the problem with your second clause? Jude Ali,
Yes, teacher.
what's the problem with the second clause? The boy is smiling at the camera. That's okay. But we have a problem with the second clause. What's the problem with the second clause? You know, Jude Ali? You see the problem?
ing.
No, okay, yeah, well, yeah, actually, I'm thinking about it, it's two problems. So what's the two problems? Lubna, tell her one of the problems.
Yeah, I think the problem is not at a camera, on the camera.
No. At the camera is fine. The first
Oh.
clause is the boy is smiling at the camera. That's perfect. But
Yes.
there's a problem with the second clause.
Can you complete the sentence? What is it? Can you repeat it?
The boy is smiling at the camera and wearing a white thobe. And wearing a white thobe.
And
And wearing a white thobe. All right, Rector, what's the problem with that? Rector?
There is no pronoun in the other sentence, and there is no verb to be.
Right. So fix it.
Just a second. And he is wearing a white thobe.
And he is wearing a white thobe. People, remember, ladies and gentlemen, remember, you always need subject, verb, always. If it's a clause, you need subject,
sorry, but I have some problems, so I leave and I come again.
verb.
Okay, can you repeat my answer?
Who's speaking?
Lubna.
Yeah, so yeah, we were saying that for
Yeah, I think the problem is when you use and the verb in two sentences must be the same form. So smiling and wearing.
right. So here we need
Yes.
the boy is smiling at the camera and he is wearing a thobe. He is. We need subject, verb every single time. Every single time we need subject, verb. All right. All right. So a clause, remember, a clause must always have subject, verb, verb, always. All right, all clauses, whether they're dependent or independent, you must have subject, verb, always. Don't forget that. Okay, don't forget that. All right, so let me give you some examples here. Richard eats cake and he eats pies. Okay. Subject, verb. conjunction, subject, verb. If Richard,
Sorry, I can't see. Where are you writing?
does everyone see my white? I'm on my whiteboard. Does everyone see the whiteboard?
I see it, but in the old, not
I see it, doctor.
See it? Yeah, you might need to refresh your screen.
okay.
If Richard eats cake, he will not eat pie. All right, here we got subject, verb, subject, verb. Then we have our subordinating conjunction. Regda. Regda. Are you there? I think she left. I think she skipped out. Jada,
Yes.
what's the other way we can write this sentence here? Give me the other way we can write this sentence. If
Give
Richard-
me 1 minute to think. Maybe he will eat. He will not eat pie if Richard eats cake.
So why don't we say Richard
Will not
Will-
eat pie
not eat pie if
he eats cake.
okay. Put a comma here.
No.
Good, very good, very good. So these are the two ways you can write a compound sentence, right? You still have your subject, verb, and then your subject, verb. Remember, this is your subordinating conjunction right in the middle. All right, so don't forget, anytime you have a clause, you must have a subject and verb. Okay. Now, if you want it to be a compound sentence, you know, so let me ask you a question. I'll ask somebody else a question. What type of sentence is this, Omar? Ahmed likes cakes and pies. What type of sentence is that?
Compound.
Is compound? I got
No, no.
subject,
Sorry. Simple.
simple sentence. Very good. Because there's no subject right here. There's no verb either, right? Just.
Yeah.
What about if I did this? Ahmed watches television and eats lunch. Mazan, what type of sentence is that? Ahmed watches television and eats lunch.
Yes.
Yep. What type of sentence is this? Ahmed watches television and eats lunch. What type of sentence is it? You know, Mazan?
Simple.
Simple. It's a simple sentence. Jude Ali, what type of sentence is this? Ahmed watches television and he eats lunch. Jude Ali, what type of sentence is that? Jude Ali,
Yes.
what type of sentence is that? Ahmed watches television and he eats lunch.
Compound, because we have subject Ahmed, verb watches, then conjunction and, then we have subject, then verb eats.
Perfect. All right, what type of sentence is this? Ahmed watches television, so he does not fall asleep. This is a trick question. Let's see, this is a trick question for somebody who's really paying attention. Ahmed watches television, so he does not fall asleep. This is a tricky. Anybody want to try this trick question? Ahmed watches television, so he does not fall asleep. What type of sentence is that? Nobody's gonna try it. Everybody's a scaredy cat.
Can I ask a teacher?
All right.
It's compound.
Ooh, I tricked you. I told you it's a trick question. It's not compound. So if it's not a compound, it has to be a what? What
Complex.
track? Complex.
I think complex. Yes.
All right. Why is it not a compound? Well, one way we could tell that it's not a compound is that I didn't put a comma here. Remember that from last week? I didn't put a comma there after the so. Remember, so can be either a coordinator or a subordinator. If you don't see the comma before the so, then that means it's a complex. If you see a comma before the so, that means it's probably a compound. All right. Also, I could put the word that here. All right. So that's the trick. If you don't know, that's the trick you can always use. Try to put the word that. If you're not sure whether you have a compound or complex, you try to put the word that. Ahmed watches television so that he does not fall asleep. Oh, that has to be complex. All right. Because it wouldn't make sense. That wouldn't make sense if it was a compound. All right. That was a trick question. All right. What about this sentence? Sarah bakes cookies while she studies for her exam. Shahad, want to try that one? What type of sentence is that?
Yes.
What type of sentence is this? Sarah bakes cookies while she studies for her exam.
Complex.
Very good. Complex. Which word is the what word is the subordinating conjunction?
Well,
Wow, very good. All right, very good. Do I put a comma right here?
yeah. Well, هنا we can put comma before well. That's okay.
Right here? It's okay?
Yeah, it's okay
No,
without comma.
no.
That
Mafi comma, Mafi comma. No comma here. No
the
comma.
soil. That we don't use comma. While
No comma. No comma. Why? Because the dependent clause comes second. Remember, we don't put a comma when the dependent clause comes second. Now, if I did this, wow, Jada, finish that sentence. Make the dependent clause first for me. Jada,
um while she study
wow, what?
while Sarah wait a minute.
Yeah, wow, Sarah.
While Sarah studies for her exam,
Uh-huh.
comma,
Yep.
we wanted a compound sentence, right?
Complex. Complex.
Oh, okay, without comma.
No,
So,
no, comma. The dependent clause comes first. Wow, right?
okay. She bakes cookies.
Yep. She bakes cookies. Okay. Again, showing you that there's two ways to write independent clauses. I mean, excuse me, to write complex sentences. All right. One, this one here, but the independent clause comes first. This one here, the dependent clause comes first. We know it when the dependent clause comes first because the subordinating conjunction will come first, like in this example. And you would have to put a comma after the subordinated conjunction. All right. What about this sentence here? Roger always wears neon slippers to the grocery store every night at midnight exactly. All right. Who wants to try this one? What type of sentence is this? Roger wears neon slippers to the grocery store every night at midnight exactly. Let's see. All right, okay, Omar.
Complex sentence.
Oh, where's the subordinator?
To.
No, two's a preposition. Two's a preposition. Two's not a subordinator. So is there a subordinator anywhere in the sentence?
I don't think so.
Nope. So it can't be, it cannot be complex. What type of sentence is this? Anybody want to try? Omar was brave enough. It's not a complex. Roger wears neon slippers to the grocery store every night at midnight exactly. No one wants to try? Lubna, you don't want to try? All right, Rekta.
Roger always wears neon slipper. I think it's independent clothes.
Uh-huh.
And the
Yeah,
other part is dependent clothes.
If it's dependent, where is the subordinator? What word is the subordinator if it's dependent?
No, there is no subordinated.
So it can't be complex then.
Yes.
All right. So if there's no subordinator, what type of sentence is this?
Simple.
Simple, very good. It's a simple sentence. I try to trick you. It's a simple sentence. Why? Because everything after the main clause here, Roger always wears neon slippers, right? Everything else, they're just modifiers, right? It gives me more information, correct? To the grocery store. That's a prepositional phrase. Every night. That's the aspect. Right? And then at midnight, exactly. That's it, you got adverbial. At midnight, you got a prepositional phrase right here. Adverbial. All right. So all these are just modifiers. You see? So don't be tricked. Just because the sentence is long, it can still be simple. Roger always wears neon slippers. That's your main clause. Why? Because you have a subject and you have a verb. If you look at everything else, to the store every night at midnight exactly, there's no subject or verb there, is there? Is there a subject or verb in to the store every night at midnight exactly? Is that subject and verb?
No.
No. Okay. All right. So if you don't see a subject and verb, that means these have to be what? Are these clauses? Are these clauses?
Can you say that again, teacher?
Are these clauses? If there's no subject and verbs, to the grocery store every night at midnight, exactly. Are they clauses?
No.
No. So what are they? If it's not a clause, it has to be a what? Go ahead, Shahad.
Phrases.
Yeah, these are all phrases. All right. These are all phrases. And they just give us more information. They just give us more information. That's all they did. They're not clauses. All right. All right. I want to do one more thing. Remember, we read the pedestrian. So I want to end today's class by listening to it completely. So we're gonna watch it. Does everyone see the screen?
Yes.
So we're just gonna watch it because we read the story, right? We read the short story, so let's watch it.
Hello in there. What's up tonight on Channel 4, Channel 7, Channel 9? Where are the cowboys rushing? And do I see the United States cavalry over the next hill to the rescue? What is it now? 8:30 p.m. Time for a dozen assorted murders, a quiz, a review.
Stand still. Stay where you are.
But
Hands up or we'll shoot. Your name,
Leonard Mead,
business or profession?
I guess you could call me a writer.
No profession.
You might say that. It's been a while since I wrote my last book.
What are you doing out?
Walking?
Walking.
Yes, sir.
Walking. Just walking?
Yes, sir.
Walking where? For what?
Walking for air. Walking to sea.
Your address.
11 South St. James Street.
And there is air in your house? You have an air conditioner, Mr. Mead?
Yes.
And you have a viewing screen in your house to see with?
No,
No. Are you married, Mr. Mead?
no.
Not married.
Nobody wanted me.
Don't speak unless you're spoken to. Just walking, Mr. Mead?
Yes,
Have you done this often?
every night for years.
Well, Mr. Mead?
Is that all?
Yes. Here. Get in.
Wait a minute, I haven't done anything. I protest.
Mr. Mead, get in. Now, if you had a wife to give you an alibi, but
Where are you taking me?
to the Psychiatric Center for Research on Regressive Tendencies.
All right. So that's just a short rendition of the short story, The Pedestrian. All right. What I want you guys to do is, again, I notice a lot of you are not doing your read theories. Please do your read theories. This is only for your benefit to prepare you, build your vocabulary. Tomorrow, we will start a new short story. We'll start a new short story, and we will go over not capitalization. We'll go over punctuation tomorrow. All right, we'll go over the different punctuations. Any questions? Any questions?
No. Teacher, can you add the PowerPoint for last week?
I've already added it. It's in
No,
there. Look at
not
the resource.
article, another one, the
Which
capital.
I thought I added that. I'll add the capitalization. Yes, I'll add it.
Thank you, teacher.
Any other questions? All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Make sure you do your attendance for hour 3. Please do your attendance for hour 3.
Lecturer,
Yes.
tomorrow I have an appointment in the hospital. I can't make out. I can't come.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, thank you.
We'll see everyone tomorrow.